Hello, Wedding Wanderers. My name is Assumpta, and welcome to another episode of Ave Creations TV, a home for busy professionals and entrepreneurs who want to plan a timeless, sophisticated, and unforgettable wedding celebration or special event. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wow, I've got a noisy necklace on today. I apologize. I'm not going to change. Today we are talking micro weddings. What is a micro wedding, I hear you say? Well, stay tuned if you want to hear more. So a micro wedding is a wedding that has less than 20 guests. Some people say less than 50, less than 40. I would say less than 20 because 50, some people can still have a regular wedding that I wouldn't consider micro with 50 guests. So let's just say less than 20 guests. It is not to be confused with an elopement. So elopements usually happen kind of in secret, sometimes hurried, sometimes they're planned in advance, and you don't tend to invite family and friends unless you've invited two people who may be your family or friends to be your witnesses. But yeah, there's a difference between a micro wedding and an elopement. With micro weddings, they're pretty much exactly the same as a regular wedding, just with less people. So you still have your ceremony, whether that be in church or a civil ceremony or a celebrant-led ceremony or in a mosque or a synagogue, and then you would still have a reception as well. Again, it's just with fewer people. That's ultimately the difference. In this video, I'm not going to tell you how to plan a micro wedding because you would do that the exact same way you would plan a regular wedding. And I have another video that shows you how to plan a small, intimate wedding and the things that you should consider. If you haven't watched that, then go and do so. I will link it below. But with this video, I'm going to share with you some reasons why you may want to have one. So here we go. The first and obvious reason, dependent on when you are watching this, is that that's all you're allowed. If you are in the UK right now, depending on when you're watching it, it is November 2020, you are only allowed 15 people at your wedding. Well, you were until a few days ago when we went into a 4-week lockdown. Who knows if it's going to last any longer. At the moment, no weddings are taking place, but prior to that, we were allowed 15 people, and before that, it was 30. Those are definitely micro weddings. I'd say 30 fits the micro wedding criteria as well. So as I was saying, the first reason is that you just don't want to wait to start your lives as a married couple. That's not to say you might not later have a big party, but to literally get married and be considered legally husband and wife, you may decide to have a micro wedding with just your immediate family and maybe one or two close friends, and just to get it out of the way. What you can do if you fall into the category of people who do want a larger wedding but are restricted by the laws in whichever country you live in, you can live stream your wedding. That's what a lot of people are doing at the moment. You can have it on Zoom or all the other kind of streaming channels available. I think YouTube itself also allows you to do that. So yes, you can have like a live watch party so that your friends across the globe and family can watch you get married. So that's number one. The second reason to have a micro wedding is that it could be a more relaxed affair. Bear with me, that does not mean that if you want a super formal or dressy event, you can't have that with a micro wedding. You totally can. Your micro wedding could be anywhere you want it to be, boho chic, black tie, whatever you want. When I say relaxed, I mean in terms of the flow of the day. It is far easier and less stressful to move 20 people, 15 people than it is to move 200. So I mean it purely from a logistical point of view. So that is a great reason to consider having a micro wedding. The third reason is that you can personalize your day like you would not believe. If you want to give each individual guest a favor to suit their personality, you can do. If you want to sit and have a chat with everybody there, you can do. If you want to take personalized pictures with every single one of your guests, again, you can do that because you can do that with 15 people as opposed to 200. When you have such large numbers at your wedding, at best you could maybe talk to a table, but when they're smaller and it's a micro wedding, you can actually have a conversation, a meaningful conversation with every single person in the room. In addition, if you wanted to design the room from the floor to the ceiling, you can do by virtue of the fact that when you have a micro wedding, normally it's a smaller space. So the money that would take to fill a bigger room, it would cost you far less. So you can have epic floral installations or random props and all kinds of things. The sky is literally the limit. So it's something to consider if you really want a highly stylized wedding, but possibly couldn't afford it if you were having 200 people there. The fourth reason is for my shy people. There are less people staring at you all day. If the idea of a bunch of people staring at you, yes, they're your friends and family, but still, if it fills you with dread, then possibly consider a micro wedding, even when we're allowed to have bigger ones. You can always stream it, as I said in the beginning, to people all across the world, but it means that you actually have less physical eyeballs on you, so it could make you a bit less unnerved. When you have a micro wedding, everybody who made the cut, presumably you are comfortable around because they are like the real close family and friends, so it will make you more comfortable for the day. If you are super shy or anxious or introverted, then a micro wedding may be the best bet for you. And finally, my fifth reason to consider having a micro wedding is that it may cost less. May, could. I'm choosing my words carefully because if you're anything like me, you could spend the same amount on a micro wedding as you could for a wedding for 150 people. Might sound a little bit ludicrous, but if I had that amount of money, like if I had set my wedding budget at £30,000, let's say, I could definitely spend £30,000 on 15 or 20 people. With the venue you choose, the kind of food that you have, again with the favors and tailoring them to each specific guest, flowers, filling. I love flowers personally. I would fill the place from floor to ceiling with amazing and interesting installations. There is just so much you could do with that money. Maybe I'd have a destination wedding and fly everybody there, and you can afford to really treat your guests when there are a small number of people. And that's not for everyone. If you don't want to do that, or you would rather spend your money elsewhere, totally understand. It could cost you a lot less to get married when you only have 15 guests. So that's it in a nutshell. There are disadvantages to having a micro wedding. I'm not going to talk about them today because 2020 has slapped us around enough. If you're watching this in the future, I really hope that things are better. Please, please, please. I'm not going to talk about the disadvantages, but if you really want to know, send me a DM or comment down below and I will tell you those. But I hope that they were helpful, and if you are considering a micro wedding, I hope that these have made you a little bit more confident in your choice. Sometimes you just need to get your life started if you are only considering a micro wedding as a result of the pandemic. My heart goes out to you, and I really hope that you have the most beautiful day, whatever you decide to do. Don't forget, you can always have a bigger party next year. But anyway, I really hope that you are staying safe if you are watching this currently in November 2020, and I will catch you in my next video. Wait, before I go, if I've left anything out, please comment below. If you're not following me on Instagram, do that as well. And yeah, if you have any questions, as always, hit me up and I will see you in my next video. Bye.